Hi everyone, welcome to Concept in Medicine. Today we are beginning the health education series for all and sundry, not only limited to the medicals, it's to everyone. So today we are going to look at DASH diet. I'm very sure you are wondering what I mean by that. So when we say DASH diet, simply it's an acronym for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. Diet. Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension diet. That is DASH diet. What then is a DASH diet? The DASH diet is simply a healthy eating plan designed to help prevent hypertension or treat hypertension. You should also know that the DASH diet is a flexible and balanced diet that helps create a heart-healthy eating style for life. You should know that the DASH diet, first of all, is designed by the US-based National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, which is also an institute under the National Institute of Health, and that falls under the National Institute of Health and Human Services. The DASH diet is promoted by the United States Department of Agriculture. And what does it contain? So mainly, the DASH diet consists of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and low or fat-free dairy food or products. The DASH diet should also have less sodium content. It also has lean meat, poultry, and fish. Another constituent is the nuts, seeds, and dry beans. That is the legumes. The DASH diet should be rich in potassium, calcium, magnesium, fibers, which are going to come from the fruits and vegetables, and proteins. The proteins are going to come from the lean meat, poultry, and the dry beans. That will be the legumes. The DASH diet should also be low in sodium and should also have a low concentration of saturated fat. It should have a low saturated fat. The next thing we want to talk about is the DASH diet recommended servings. The DASH diet recommended servings. So for the servings, we are looking at the fruits. That will be 4 to 5 servings per day. The vegetables should be the same, 4 to 5 servings per day. Then the whole grains will be 6 to 8 servings per day. The low or non-fat or fat-free dairy foods will be 2 to 3 servings per day. The fat and oil would also be 2 to 3 servings per day. The lean meats, the poultry, and the fish would be 6 servings or less. Would be 6 servings or less per day. Then for the nuts, seeds, and dry beans, or what we call legumes, you would have 4 to 5 servings per week. And finally, the sweets. If you are someone who is used to taking, these sweet beverages and all that, then we are looking at an amount of 5 or less servings per week. And at the end of the day, all these constituents should give you an energy of 2,000 calories per day. And in addition to the DASH diet, we can relate with salt. So if you're on DASH diet and you want to look at the salt that you take, then you should know that the amount of sodium that you should be taking, that will be in common salt, should be less than 2,300 milligrams per day. That will be equivalent to 1 teaspoonful of salt. The reason why DASH diet is considered as the best dietary plan with regards to hypertension is that those with pre-hypertension, those yet to get into the zone of hypertension, pre-hypertension, a study was done using DASH diet in those people. And within less than 2 weeks, a reduction in the systolic blood pressure by 6 millimeters of mercury and a reduction in the diastolic blood pressure by 3 millimeters of mercury were observed. When the blood pressure is recorded, the one at the top is what we call systolic blood pressure. The one at the bottom is what we call diastolic blood pressure. So we are saying that those with pre-hypertension on DASH diet, they've seen a reduction in the systolic blood pressure by 6 millimeters of mercury and a reduction in diastolic blood pressure by 3 millimeters of mercury. And again, those with hypertension within less than 2 weeks, that's 14 days, they've also seen a reduction in the systolic blood pressure by 11 millimeters of mercury and a reduction in the diastolic blood pressure by 6 millimeters of mercury. So DASH diet, from the name, Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, has been the most useful in preventing or treating hypertension. For the fact that it can reduce the blood pressure, it will help prevent hypertension or even control or treat it. Then finally, it is also known to reduce the level of cholesterol or bad cholesterol in our blood. And if that is the case, then the risk of developing high blood pressure and heart diseases definitely would have been reduced or are reduced. The risk of developing high blood pressure and heart diseases are reduced. How can you individually at home, through your normal dietary plans, reduce the amount of cholesterol and sodium in your diet? It means that some of the measures that you can take includes, the first one, you can always limit the salt that you use to cook food, meaning that you should not add salt when cooking pasta, you should not add salt when cooking rice, you should not add salt when cooking several meals. And also when you are preparing chicken, you should remove the skin, because the skin of the chicken contains about 80% of all the oil or fat in that chicken. So taking in skinless chicken is the best. And again, it is advisable to always take fresh fruits and vegetable. Avoid as much canned fruits and vegetable because they are not having the right constituents to promote your health. And also avoid as much as possible sweet beverages. For those who take alcohol, if you are a woman and you are taking alcohol, it's advisable to reduce the amount of drink you take to not more than 2 drinks per day for a total of 10 in a week. And for our men, reduce it to not more than 3 drinks per day for a total of 15 per week, and subsequently reduce it more and more till you are no longer taking the alcohol. And for our brothers and sisters that smoke, it is also advisable to quit the smoking, because smoking is a high risk factor for high blood pressure as well as heart diseases. Why are we talking about DASH diet? You should know that without the DASH diet, you are at the high risk of developing a stroke, high blood pressure, kidney failure, and heart diseases. Example, heart attack and heart failure. So to prevent all these diseases, it is very important that we start putting ourselves on DASH diet. We start using the DASH diet. Thank you very much. I believe we've all heard. I believe we've all gotten an understanding to the DASH diet. Kindly make sure to subscribe to my channel as I bring you more health education talks and in my health education series. And also, don't forget to recommend any health education topic that you think would be useful to you and others in the commentary box. My name is Dr. Del, and this is Concept in Medicine. Bye-bye.